Hello fellow travelers, my name's SG and welcome to the channel. Today we'll be continuing on with Dante's Inferno with Canto 31. And in the last time we saw Virgil and Dante, they were going through the last Bolgia of, I would like to say, fraud. In this one, they were meeting different people who have committed different types of fraud. But this one was more towards the public. And they met a man and two people who are constantly fighting each other over what they did. Whether it be right, wrong, or just didn't care and just felt like fighting each other overall. Where the main person claims that he was doing it mainly because everybody else pleaded him to do it. Alright, well, from there on, let's get started, shall we? One of the self-same tongue first wounded me, so that it tingled the one's cheek and the other, and then held out to me the medicine. Thus do I hear that one Achilles' spear, his and his father used to be the cause first of a sad, and then of a gracious boon. We turned our backs upon the wretched valley, upon the bank that girds it round about, going across it without any speech. There it was less than night and less than day, so that a sight went little in advance. But I could hear the blare of a loud horn, so loud it would have made each thunder faint, which counter to its following its way, mine eyes directed wholly to one place. After Dolores' discomfiture, when Charlemagne the holy empress lost, so terribly Orlando sounded not. Short while my head turned thitherward, I held when many lofty towers I seemed to see, whereat I, Master, say what town is that? And he to me, Because thou peerest forth, athwart the darkness is too great a distance, it happens that thou errest in thy fancy. Well, shalt thou see, if thou arrivest there, how much the senses deceive itself by the distance. Therefore, a little faster spur thee on. Then tenderly he took me by the hand, and said, Before we farther have advanced, that the reality may seem to thee less strange, know that these are not towers, but giants, and they are in the well around the bank, from navel downward, one and all of them. As when the fog is vanished away, little by little doth the sight refigure. Whatever the mist that crowds the air conceals, so piercing through the dense and darksome air, more and more near approaching toward the verge, because it's on its circular parapets, Montegerian crowns itself with towers, even thus the margin which surrounds the well, with one half of their bodies turreted, the horrible giants whom Jove menaces, even now from out the heavens when he thunders. And I of one already saw the face, shoulders, then breasts, and great part of the belly, and down along his sides both of the arms. Certainly nature, when she left the making of animals like these, did well indeed by taking such executors from Mars. And if of elephants and whales she doth not repent her, whoever looketh subtly, more just and more discreet will hold her for it. For where the argument of intellect is added unto evil, will and power, no rampart can the people make against it. His face appeared to me as long and large as it's at Rome, the pine cone of St. Peter's, and the proportions were the other bones, so that the margin, which an apron was down from the middle, showed so much of him above it, and that it to reach up to his hair. 3 Frislanders in vain had vaunted them, for I beheld 30 great palms of him, down from the place where man his mantle buckles. Raphael, my Amak, Izabi, Alamir, began to clamor the ferocious mouth, to which were not befitting sweeter psalms, and unto me him my guide, Soul idiotic, keep to thy horn and vent thyself with that. When wrath or other passion touches thee, search round thy neck, and thou wilt find the belt which keeps it fastened. O bewildered soul, and see it where it bars thy mighty breast. And said to me, He doth himself accuse. This one is Nimrod, by whose evil thought one language in the world is not still used. Here let us leave him, and not speak in vain, for even such to him is every language, as his is to others, which to none is known. Therefore a longer journey did we make, turned to the left, and the crossbows shot oft. We found another far more fierce and large, and binding him who might the master be, I cannot say, but he had pinned close behind the right arm, and in front the other, with chains that held him so begirt about from the neck down, that one of the part uncovered, it would itself as far as the fifth grey. This proud one wished to make experiment of his own power against the supreme Jove. This proud one wished to make experiment of his own power against the supreme Jove, my leader said, whence he has such a guerdon. Ephialtes is his name. He showed great prowess, what time the giants terrified the gods. The arms he wielded nevermore he moves. And I to him, it's possible I should wish that of the measureless Braucus these eyes of mine might have experience. Whence he replied, Thou shalt behold Antaeus, close by here, who can speak, and is unbound, who at the bottom of all crimes shall pass us. Much farther yon is he, whom thou wouldest see, and he is bound and fashioned like this one, save that he seems to aspect more ferocious. There never was an earthquake of such might that it could shake a tower so violently, as if he suddenly shook himself. Then was I more afraid of death than ever, for nothing more was needful than the fear, if I had not beheld the manacles. Then we proceeded farther in advance, and to Antaeus came, who, full 5 eels without the head, forth issued from the cavern. O thou, who in the valley fortunate, which Scipio the heir of glory made, when Hannibal turned back with all his hosts, once broughtest 1,000 lions for thy prey, and who hast thou been at the mighty war? Among thy brothers some, it seems, still think the sons of earth the victory would have gained. Place us below, nor disdainful of it. There where the cold doth lock Cocytus up. Make us not go to Titulus, nor Typhius. This one can give off which here is longed for. Therefore stoop down, and do not curl thy lip. Still in the world can he restore thy fame, because he lives and still expects long life. If to itself grace call him not untimely. So said the master, and in haste the other his hands extended, and took up my guide, hands with whose great pressure Hercules once felt. Virgilius, when he felt himself embrace, said unto me, Draw nigh, then I may take thee. Then of himself and me one bundle made, as seemed the Caricinda to behold beneath the learning side, when goes a cloud above it so that opposite it hangs. Such did Antaeus seem to me, which stood watching to see him stoop, and then it was I could have wished to go some other way. But lightly, in the abyss which swallows up Judas with Lucifer, he put us down, nor thus bowed downward made he their delay, but as a mast does in a ship uprose. Alright, now that we've read the chapter, let's talk about it, shall we? We see that they have gotten out of the fraud circle, are making their way to the last ditch, and that where Lucifer is. Now, before we get to Lucifer, though, we meet some of the oldest inhabitants of Hell, which are the giants. Now, the giants are considered more animalistic or warrior-based, those that have challenged the gods before and have been struck down. They do speak, but they speak in a language that they think is the correct one, and they think everybody else is speaking the wrong one. Again, part of the reason they're here. Now, we do get a description of them as being very long, very tall, and having pretty much tower over anybody that Dante could think of. And we do get to meet several famous ones that have fought Job, and even one that has fought Hercules when he was around. And we do meet that they do know where the final stage is. They are restricted for their acts against God or the regular people. So that's pretty much where we end it there, and they're almost to Lucifer himself. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this chapter. This was a little of a lighter one, I would have to say. But it gets us to our next bigger phase. And I hope you all enjoy. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it myself. And yeah, thanks again for watching and see you next time.